Hi again, everybody. It's Wednesday, May 28th, 2025, and time for another edition of Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime YouTube channel, live and direct from the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio X. I'm Rick Arsenal, and as always, you know the drill by now. If you haven't done so yet, please get down there in the corner and smash that like and subscribe button. I will be forever thankful to you for doing that. Tigers swept the Giants out of Detroit today with a come from behind 4-3 win at Comerica. A bit of a rocky start for Jackson Jobe, but he survived long enough to keep them in the game and get the win. We'll talk, get you caught up on what's going on in the NBA and NHL playoffs. Talk a little bit of Lions. I don't think we're going to go more probably than 15 or 16 or 17 minutes today, but okay, here we go. Let's get the commercials out of the way first, shall we? Let's do something a little bit different tonight. 0% financing is back at Frank Beck Chevrolet now through the end of the month, through the month of May. So you don't have much longer to go. Take advantage of this. You get 0% for 48 months on 5.3 liter or Turbo Max Chevrolet Silverados, plus an additional $3,500 in total cash allowance. The all-new Equinox is available at 2.9% financing with no payments for the first 90 days or 1.9% financing on 2025 Blazers. Check out their great selection of pre-owned vehicles, all priced to move. They have a great selection out there. I was out there the other day. And, you know, if you're planning on driving on vacation this summer, get in there and let the pros in the service department double check your vehicle to make sure you're ready to go and good to go for the road. That's great advice. You know, if you're going out of town, you want to get in there, let them check everything out. Make sure you won't have any problems when you get out of the road this summer. Though that's great. You should always do that before planning a lengthy trip, be it up north or anywhere else in the country. Get in there and let them check the vehicle out. Make sure you're good to go for the road. That's great advice. Frank Beck Chevrolet and M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville, and on the web at frankbeckchevy.com. You get in there and let them help you experience the Frank Beck difference. We're also brought to you in part by Barrett Insurance. Excuse the voice, boy. I've been sneezing all day. I can see what kind of summer this is going to be for my allergies. Anyway, Barrett Insurance, BarrettINS.com, protecting your dreams. Barrett Insurance on the corner of M99 and US 12 at downtown Jonesville at 517-849-1000. BarrettINS.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams, 517-849-1000 on the corner of M99 and US 12 in downtown Jonesville. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. NBA playoffs. Tonight at 8:30, Minnesota Timberwolves are in Oklahoma City to play the Thunder, and the Thunder have a 3-1 lead in that series. They could close them out tonight, and I have a hunch they will. This is Game 5, and Minnesota, I thought, would put up a little more of an effort than what they have in this series, but OKC, folks, they're going to win it all. I'm telling you that right now. They are the NBA champions for this season, and they're about to close out the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight in OKC. I have no doubt that they will. Meanwhile, last night, the Pacers, with the help of Tyreke Halliburton, who put up a triple-double. What do you have, 32, 12, and 10, something like that. You know, there are only 200 players in NBA history that have done that in the playoffs. So kudos to Mr. Halliburton. Anyway, last night, as I said, the Pacers beat the Knicks 130-121. They will play again at Madison Square Garden tomorrow night with the Pacers having a 3-1 lead in that series. Let's hope they close them out. I guess people around here don't think much of the Knicks, but let's hope they close them out at Madison Square Garden tomorrow night. Meanwhile, in the NHL, tonight at 8 o'clock, the Florida Panthers are in Carolina to take on the Hurricanes. Florida's got a 3-1 lead in that series. So the Hurricanes are looking to win tonight and stay alive in that series, try to get it back to Sunrise, Florida. I don't think so. I think the Panthers close them out tonight. That's just why. Meanwhile, tomorrow night, Edmonton with a 3-1 lead over the Stars. We'll play in Dallas tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. As I said, Edmonton has a 3-1 lead in that series. So it looks right now like it's going to be Edmonton and Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals. And if Edmonton should win, that would be the last time since first time actually. Was it since 1993 that a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup? Panthers might have other things to say about that, but yeah, I mean, that's looking more and more like it's going to be the Florida and Edmonton than in the Stanley Cup Finals. But so I get you caught up on that. Let's talk about Tigers here first. They got behind today. Job gave up a run in the second, I believe. The second inning, or was it the first inning? Anyway, they got down 1-0, and he gave up a 2-run homer in the fifth. Now the Tigers are down 3-0. It wasn't looking good at that point, but the Tigers in the next half inning came out, scored 4 runs, 2-run double from Colt Keith, 2-run single from Justin Henry Malloy. That was enough. Giants threatened a few times, but the bullpen shut them down. Final score, Tigers 4, Giants 3. So right now they are, 37-20? You got tomorrow off. Excuse me for this point. So they're leaving on our way right as we speak right now. I think they're on their way to Kansas City. They'll have an off day there tomorrow before starting a 3-game series against the Royals on Friday night. Pitching for the Tigers in this series, it'll be Casey Mize Friday night, Tarek Skubal on Saturday, and Kiner Montero on Sunday. And the Royals have yet to name any starting pitcher for those 3 games this weekend. They're all TBD. They've had some injuries to 2 or 3 of their starters, and it looks like it might finally be catching up to them. If they don't win tonight and avoid a sweep at the hands of the Reds, they will be 8 games behind the Tigers going into that series on Friday. Royals pitching is very good. I think they're second in the major leagues in team ERA, just ahead of the Tigers. But they don't hit. They're dead last in home runs, and it's not even close. Some of it is the ballpark they play in. I understand that. And they have a really great superstar in their shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr., but we'll see what transpires this weekend. Anyway, Tigers 37-20, 17 games over 500. This is a good team, folks. I don't know there's a question about it. This is a good team. As you saw in the headline, too, Parker Meadows is getting very close to returning to the Tigers. He's in Toledo right now on a rehab assignment. He had a home run over the weekend. On Monday, I think he had 3 hits, including a couple of triples. AJ Hinch on his bi-weekly show that he does on the flagship this morning said while he is getting close, this weekend they want to have him play in a couple of 9-inning games. Want to see how he looks after he goes 9 innings for a couple of days. After that, they will reassess him and see where he's at. I have a hunch, like the Tigers are out on the road right now for the next 7 games, 3 in Kansas City and 4 against the White Sox in Chicago. Then they'll be home next weekend for a 3-game series against the Cubs. I think it's a very good possibility that Parker could be back for that Cub series. Kind of an unusual schedule, too, next couple of weeks. They come home for just a 3-game series against the Cubs before going right back out on the road to Baltimore for 3 games, coming right back home again to play the Reds. The Reds and the Pirates, and then going to Tampa Bay for just another one-city 3-game trip. So during the month of June, the Tigers have a 1-city, 3-game road trip. You don't see that very often, especially not down to Tampa. They're going to fly down to Tampa Bay and back. That's different, kind of a fluke in the schedule, if you will. But who knows what the schedule maker was thinking when he made that out. But anyway, bottom line is Parker Meadows is close to coming back. And one thing they've missed, don't forget, he's probably the best center fielder in baseball. None of that his speed. When he does come back, he'll be back in that leadoff spot. And normally when he gets on first base, obviously he's a threat to steal second. Most of the time he's successful at it. So that's another place where they missed him. Tigers don't steal many bases. But the only one who is or can or was Parker Meadows with his speed. But he's become a very good base stealer. So that's another thing that I'm sure they'll be glad to get back. So let's hope everything goes well for him this weekend in Toledo when he's going to attempt to play a couple of 9-inning games. And like Hinch said this morning, they'll assess where he's at after that, evaluate him. Right now, it sounds pretty good. The bad news is, if you haven't heard, after the game on Monday afternoon, Matt Vierling, who has just joined the team for the first time this season for the Cleveland series, with shoulder issues, complained of shoulder soreness after the game on Monday, so they have shut him down again. He will be reevaluated. Don't know yet if he's going to need surgery. I'm sure I'll hear more about that in a few days ahead. But if he does need surgery at this point of the season, he will more than likely be done, and that's too bad. He has got some pop in his bat. He plays decently in center field or third base, and it was great to have him back. Let's hope for the best, but this doesn't sound too good right now. But what's up? Perez is back. Hit a home run his first time up last night. It'd be good to have him. But remember, too, when the season ended last year, the Tigers had Parker Meadows in center field and Wenzel Perez in right. And they missed both of those guys, purely. But it's good to have Perez back and Parker back in the very near future. So, okay, we'll close out with a little Lion news. First, this word for a good man, very knowledgeable person when it comes to tech services. Tim Lilly at Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale, 517-610-5372. Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale, folks. I hope I can make it through this. Directly across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive, 37 Waldron Street, about 100 yards west of Howell. Can't miss it. This is the only place in our area to go if you have any technical issues, sales, service, computers, new or used, flat screen TV, mounting, programming, maybe you're changing internet providers, you need that installed. Printers, you or used, anything at all. Get in there and see them, because these are Tim Lilly and his staff. These are they can pretty much resolve any issue that you have regarding technical issues. And we're so fortunate to have someone of their knowledge in our area here. There is no other place to go. This is the place. 517-610-5372, or better still, get in there and see them at 37 Waldron Street, downtown Hillsdale. When you do, tell them me and Miggy sent you, will you? Thank you very much. Thanks. Lions announced, today, I think became official today. I don't want to talk about a recent transaction they did, but the Lions announced today they will be having joint practices with both the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans this summer. Of course, the Lions are in that Hall of Fame game on the 31st. Then I think it's August the 7th. They go down to play a preseason game in Atlanta. They finish the season with 2 preseason games at home. They finished the preseason with 2 games at home. Saturday the 16th against the Dolphins, and the following Saturday the 23rd against Houston. The week leading up to the game with the Dolphins on the 16th, the Lions have announced they will have joint practices with Miami that week. And the following week, leading up to the game in Houston, they will have joint practices with the Texans. This is where the veterans and the regulars will get some playing time in those joint. What it amounts to is a couple of days of scrimmaging, pretty much a couple of scrimmages each with the Dolphins and the Texans with Houston. That this is the chance for the regulars to get out there and the starters to see some action in the preseason before the season starts. And yeah, we look forward to that. I'm sure that, of course, it'll be open to those joint practices are open to the public in Allen Park. Like I said, the week of August the 16th and the week of August the 23rd. I think are those mainly tickets mainly limited to season ticket holders, I believe. I'm pretty sure they are. I have to double check on that. But if you're interested, of course, the crowd is limited amount of people in there at the Meyer Performance Center in Allen Park is what it's now called. So, joint practice with the Dolphins the week of the August 16th, and with Houston the week of August 23rd. That's where the regulars and starters will get a little bit of action. And what food for thought too. A couple of days ago, the Lions signed a veteran linebacker by the name of Zach Cunningham. He's been with the Texans, the Titans, the Eagles, and Broncos. He's 30 years old. His last year in Houston, which was 2020, he led the league in tackles that year with 164. As I said, he's 30 years old. Look, the Lions had enough linebackers right now. They're going out and signing this guy. Are they at all concerned about Alex Anzalone holding out? This one came. The first thing I thought of when I saw that they had signed him. Alex Anzalone holding out. He's in the final year of a 3-year deal. Obviously, the man wants to get paid. Well, I don't know. It's food for thought anyway. Like I said, Cunningham, when he was with Houston in 2020, led the league in tackles with 164. He's 30 years old. Like I said, he's been with Houston, Tennessee, the Eagles, most recently the Denver Broncos. That's what all I can tell you. I who knows if Anzalone, what he plans on doing or whatever. But the man obviously wants to get paid. No. One thing I neglected to say too the other day before we leave here. Each time Tarik Skubal turns in a gem like he did on Sunday against the Guardians, his price tag is going to go up considerably. This more than likely pains me to say this. More than likely, it could be his last full year in Detroit. I doubt very much that his agent, Scott Boras, is going to accept any offer the Tigers extend to him this year or this offseason or early next season. If I'm Scott, I wouldn't want to be in Scott Harris's place right now. Well, he could, like the sword of Damocles hanging over his head. At the trade deadline next year, if they don't have a deal with Tarik Skubal, oh, that's tough. Somebody asked me if they could take Scott Boras to court for failing to bargain in good faith. Boras is an attorney. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I think the answer to that is no. But we'll see. I don't know. Does Chris Ilitch tell Scott Harrison and Jeff Greenberg, let's make a viable offer to him 5 years for $52 or $53 million a year? Would that probably not? Scott Boras is probably thinking about more like 60 for 5. What would that be? $300 million? I wouldn't trade places with Scott Harris for anything right now. How many sleepless nights is that guy going to have between now and the trade deadline next year? he'd better hope the Tigers get to the World Series and win it this year. And that's all I got to say. Anyway, that's going to do it. I'll talk to you all again on Friday. Don't forget Saturday mornings here locally from 9 to 10 on WCSR 92.1 FM with Andy and Chad on the Timeout Show. In the meantime, just remember, it's got to warm up sooner or later. We had another lousy day today. We do have, see how crazy this weather is. We do have a couple of 2 or 3 days next week in the high 80s, and then it cools off after. This is the craziest weather I've ever seen, craziest spring I've ever seen. Anyway, I'll talk to you all again on Friday. So until then, remember, please treat each other with respect. Have a good rest of your evening. And again, I can't thank you enough for watching and listening to. So until Friday, I just say, so long, everybody.